Hey everyone, let's talk about Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and boy do I understand why everyone raves about this woman. This book is basically a coming-of-age story. We have a 15-year-old narrator, Kambili, a young girl who lives in Nigeria. The book is separated in 4 parts. We have an event, then the time before that event, after that event, and the present. And I don't want to go into too much detail about the event and all the things. I'd rather talk about the writing and the characters. The writing is amazing. This is a 300-page book and she covers so many things. She says things precisely in very few words. There's no rambling. It's just all clear. You get the feelings, you get the emotions, you get the situations. It's very well done. The characters are what I really like about the book. Kambili is a 15-year-old girl, and in the beginning of the book we have her really shy, we have her quiet, and she stutters and she lives in fear. And throughout the book we see her grow up and be more confident. We also see how that happens. We know why she is like she is, and we also see who supports her in growing up. Looking at the characters in general, we follow basically Kambili's family. The father is very religious and very powerful in Nigeria. He has factories, he has a lot of money, and people look up to him or are scared of him. In case of his family, he's very tyrannical. He's basically the family tyrant, and he's also violent, which explains why Kambili is so scared at the beginning of the book. She's always in fear of her father and at the same time in awe. She always wants him to love her, to be proud of her, and she often says, "Oh, I wish I had said that," when somebody else says something that she thinks is very clever and makes her father happy. She also had a 2-year older brother, and Yaya is a little bit, I'm not really sure. He changes as well. And in the same course of time, he has to deal with the same things. And well, at the beginning, those two are very close. I have the feeling that towards the end of the book, Kambili doesn't understand Yaya anymore. And I feel as a reader, I don't either. I can not say what's going on in his mind. And that was a really interesting experience because that's how it is. And often books give you information about characters where they really shouldn't know how they tick, but they do. And I really like this in this book, that you really didn't know what exactly is going on in his mind. Their mother is rather a background character. She's very quiet, she's very subdued, she's very respectful of the father despite his actions, and she's always kind of protecting him. We also have the sister of the father, and so their aunt, and it's very interesting. While the family around Kambili is very rich and they live in a big house with servants and they are very protected, the aunt lives in a very small house in a different city. She is a university professor and the university is most of the time on strike at the moment, and so she really doesn't have money. The city really doesn't have fuel, and Kambili and Yaya go to visit and live the aunt for a week, and that's when everything changes because they see a different life, and life at their aunt's place is completely different than at their father's place. They laugh a lot more, they have a lot more freedom, they are encouraged to speak out and to think. That is what brings out the change in Kambili and Yaya. But in this book we don't only get the family lives and things around that, we also see the influence of religion on Nigeria, and especially on the families and how different they view the thing. The Catholic Church plays a very interesting role in this book, especially for the father, who's very religious and really said goodbye to everything that was traditionally Nigerian, and how the aunt embraces both. The book is also set at a time where there was a big coup in Nigeria. It's always part of the background. It gives you the situation, and it also plays a different light on the father because he's also, apart from owning a lot of factories, he publishes a newspaper and he's very critical towards the regime and to the new government, and that causes a lot of problems, and he's standing up for his rights and supporting others, which is a very interesting portrayal of this tyrannical character who also helps a lot and does a lot of good in the name of religion and God. And it's very, very interesting how that plays part of the book and plays into the story, how the political situation influences the private situation. So, like I said, this book has too many things to talk about. It's very well written. You have no problem understanding anything, but it's just very dense at points and you're like, oh, I need to take a break and think about this. And that's what I loved about the book. And because I loved the whole book, I was very surprised that I really didn't get the ending. I did not see that coming, and I'm not sure if I liked it. If you've read the book, tell me in the comments with spoiler warning what you thought of the ending. Let's talk about that. If you haven't read the book, just jump on the bandwagon right now. Get that book. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's well written. It's a really fast read and I loved it. Thank you very much for watching and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.